Hi guys, welcome back to another video, and in this week's video we're going to be going through 5 must-haves for every Freelander 2 owner. So without further ado, let's get into it. Number 1. If you own one of these cars for any length of time, the chances are you're going to need a part or two for it. Annoyingly, with these Freelander 2s, over the course of history, parts get upgraded, modified, tweaked, superseded, you know, that sort of thing. And especially when it comes down to the pre-facelift Freelander 2 and the post-facelift Freelander 2, there's a lot of parts out there that are incompatible with one another. So you need to make sure you get the exact right part for your car. Well, I'm going to leave a link to the JLR Classic website down in the description below. And on that site, you will find parts diagrams and part numbers for pretty much all of the parts on the car. You will have to bear with the site because personally, I find it sometimes a bit cumbersome. And also some of the parts that you expect to find in places might not be in them places, so you have to look elsewhere in the subsections and kind of bear down on them to find the part that you're looking for. But if you stick with it, you can find the exact part number for the bit that you need. That way you can stick it into Google and then choose from all the retailers that pop up on Google, and you can be safe in the knowledge that you're getting the right part for your Freelander 2. Number 2, and for this one I'm going to give you 3 must-have groups for you to go and join, starting off with the first one being the Thrill 2 forum. If you've never heard this forum before, it's packed full of information to do with the Freelander 2 and packed full of very knowledgeable members that will sort you right out. Be sure to set up an account and be sure to give the forum a search, because the chances are it's probably been asked before. If it hasn't, feel free to set up a topic if you're struggling to understand something on these cars, or you want some in-depth technical advice, or you're up against the problem with your Freelander 2, give that forum a try. The chances are they'll be able to sort you out. The next 2 groups are Facebook groups, so if you have Facebook, go and check out the Muddy Freelander group and the Freelander 2 off-road group, FL2ORG. Give both of them groups a check out. The Muddy Freelander group ranges from everything to do with Freelander 1s, the original Freelander 1s, all the way up to the last Freelander 1s, Freelander 2s, Evokes, and maybe even the Disco Sport, because that has a bit of Freelander 2 DNA in it. The Freelander 2 off-road group, while it has off-road group in the name, or the org as I like to call it, it's also for people that go off-roading and people that don't do off-roading. They're both great groups. They're full of great eggs and full of lots of information to do with the Freelander 2, so make sure to join up with them 2 groups too. Number 3, and this one's kind of connected to number 2 in that I'm going to leave a link to a specific thread on the Thrill 2 forum. In that thread you will find things like the handbook for the Freelander 2 if you've lost yours, a wiring diagram if you're any good at following those, but most importantly the must-have thing to grab from that thread is the repair manual that's sat there for the Freelander 2. This is the mother and father of all manuals for the Freelander 2. If you ever want to do any sort of work for your car, or if you ever want to know torque settings, how things come apart, that sort of thing, is filled with diagrams, and it's the official Land Rover guide to basically undoing everything on this car and doing it back up. So be sure to go to that thread, download a copy, make sure it's sat on your computer while it's still there, because at any point it could disappear. It is a bit cumbersome to go through because it does contain information for the diesel Freelander 2 and the petrol Freelander 2, so you have to make sure you're looking at the right section, and it is thousands of pages long. It's a massive manual. But I know there's 3 ways to go about browsing it basically. One is you could do it the old-fashioned way, print it off, stick it in a folder, take out the pages you don't need, that sort of thing, and label it all up. The second way is to download it, open it up in a browser, and then use your browser's search function to basically find search terms. And you might need to find different search terms than what you're looking for. For example, don't look for Haldex, look for on-demand coupling, that sort of thing. I know in Google Chrome it's Control F. If you press them 2 buttons, you'll get a little search thing come up. You can put your term in it, like wheel speed for example, and it will list all the sections that have the words wheel speed in, and you just have to go through until you find the section that you need. Or the third option to go through this manual is to feed it into some sort of AI tool and basically ask the AI, because once it's ingested it and learnt about it, it should be able to help you out. Make sure you go over to that thread, download a copy of the repair manual, and you should be sorted for any jobs you need to do on the Freelander 2. Number 4, if you don't mind doing a bit of work on your Freelander 2, or you just want to save a few bob like Alana and myself do, then make sure to get one of these 27mm flexi headed spanners to add to your armory of tools. I have no idea what Ford, Peugeot and whoever else went into making this engine were thinking, and I'm sure it makes sense on some of the cars that this engine got put into, but for the Freelander 2 it definitely doesn't. The oil filter is like halfway down at the front of the engine, in between the engine and the radiator, a really annoying place to get to, and if you just have a straight headed spanner or anything like that, it's really hard to get onto to undo. So at least with a flexi headed spanner like this, you can manipulate the head, hook it on, and then once it's on you can ratchet it until it comes away, saving you a lot of time and hassle. And then putting it back on again, you can mostly do it with your hand. Obviously do it hand tight, then just give it a final nip up with this. This is a must-have tool for your Freelander 2. Last but definitely no means least, we've got number 5, and this is probably one of the most important must-haves for every Freelander 2 owner out there. If your car isn't already fitted with one, make sure to go and get yourself a MuddyMods one-way valve for the airbox. For those of you confused why, let me explain. When these Freelander 2s first left the factory, underneath the airbox is a big old circular hole with a little rubber flap in it. The idea being is that little rubber flap is meant to stop water from going up inside the airbox, but if any water does get in there, either from the wheel spraying it up or from the air intake, the water gravitates to the bottom and it can leak past this little rubber flap and out the bottom of the car. The problem is, as you can imagine, over time, life doesn't treat little rubber elements very well at all. So as you can imagine, that disappears without a trace, without you knowing, which leaves a gaping big hole underneath your airbox waiting for water to spray into it. Now, the best case scenario is that if water gets into the airbox, it gets to the air filter, makes it a bit damp, let's say, and eventually dries out and you suffer no ill consequences at all. Worst case scenario though, water gets sprayed up in there, soaks your air filter, and then your air filter tries to work its way engine bound, or even just suffocates your engine in general. Or on top of that, bits of air filter can find their way disappearing down the air intake to the engine, and in your engine you don't want anything other than basically fuel and air going into that. So MuddyMods have brought out this one-way valve that's a much better design. Yes, it does mean you've got to modify your airbox a little bit, so if you're not comfortable doing it yourself, find someone that is comfortable doing it for you, or even take it to MuddyMods, because within a flash they'll have that done for you. This could save you a whole world of bother in the long run, because the chances are, if you look at the bottom of your airbox, that little rubber flap probably isn't there anymore. Make sure to get yourself a MuddyMods one-way valve for your airbox. So that was my 5 must-haves for every Freelander 2 owner out there. If you have any of your own, feel free to leave them down in the comment section down below. I'm already anticipating someone's typed the number to a breakdown company, or massive amounts of oil in your boot as it leaks out the bottom of your engine. Yes, very funny, ha ha, I get the joke. Anyway, if you wouldn't mind completing my customer satisfaction survey by giving the like button a click, that would be much appreciated. Other than that, all that's left for me to say is, if you want to see another video like this, click up here. If you want to subscribe to the channel, click up here. Thanks everyone, and I'll see you in the next video.